Hello folks, I just thought I would make a video on a non-crisis, international crisis subject, so we can have something else to think about. And I'm going to make this video about Meghan Markle and her return to Hollywood. I noticed this, I watch Murky Meg, Celt News, Yankee Wally, Princess Tiffany, and their analysis of the Meghan Markle and Harry debacle and situation. So occasionally I make a few of these videos myself. But anyway, Celt News the other day mentioned how on the IMDb page she has a really beefed up page, even though she is not really that big of a star, before Harry. So I thought I'll take a look at the page myself, and it was very interesting, so I thought I would do a video on it myself. First of all, first glance, it looks like a nice page, has like 30, 31, 32 credits. I'm like, okay, that's pretty nice, good amount. Anyhow, then I went to the next page, the biography, and that's when things really started getting interesting. Well, first of all, she's got like a 2-page biography, which I guess in and of itself is not a bad thing. Nothing wrong with that. But then, the trivia section. There are 49 bits of trivia, including some of the most ridiculous little things, like, I slapped a man twice in a movie. Oh, really? And, like, I met some celebrity when I served her frozen yogurt. Really? She's just any little itsy-bitsy, teensy-weensy thing trying to fill up space. So, I thought that was definitely strange. And then beyond that, we get down to the personal quotes. There are 32 personal quotes. I don't even think the biggest actor in Hollywood had 32 quotes or 42 pieces of trivia about them. But what really inspired me to make this video was the first #1 personal quote on the list. And my goodness, it was a, "Here I am, I'm available, I want work in the movies, come and get me, I'll do anything" type of quote. Like I said, you could just see the neon lights flashing. And I quote, "I would love to do anything, from a really gritty, interesting indie type film to that commercial, bigger stuff." Really? She's gonna end up in student films, I'm telling you. Ready to do anything? It's like, these are the quotes of a woman who is ready to do anything to act. I mean, isn't this kind of strange? I mean, royal family is considered the top of the top of the top, and she was able to score that. So why does she need to go back to indie films, to seedy, crummy little indie film, little horror flicks? And I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Now, I think that the producers and directors would give a little pause when they see this, because, I mean, she's already caused a lot of trouble for people. I mean, she seems like she has quite a knack for making enemies everywhere she goes. I mean, recently adding Canada to her list, and they're all mad because they were used as they considered themselves markled. So, like, entire nations are adding themselves to her enemies list by the day, and that's just not good for the indie filmmaker who wants to distribute their films abroad. And if they get themselves associated with somebody who has offended the British people and offended the Canadian people and offended the countries in the Commonwealth, I mean, that's not good for business. So, I mean, she might just have to settle for being the tabloid queen, because I'm not seeing this turning out well from an acting perspective. I mean, it'd be one thing if she was a fabulous actress to begin with. I mean, I think Grace Kelly could have probably done it. But Meghan is not exactly in the Academy Award winning category. While she has her looks, and also while, unfortunately, she is close to 40, and Hollywood is notorious for casting actresses aside once they get to around 40. They'll be playing moms and things like that. And frankly, I just don't see Meghan handling gritty roles. I mean, she seemed to barely handle Hallmark. And Hallmark is really bottom of the acting barrel, I think. So, but I just wanted to point that out. That you shouldn't seem to be too eager and too desperate for acting parts. And I mean, I said she had everything. Why this? Why come down to the level of filming with some goofy hippies in their garage, an independent picture? Why? I guess only Meghan Markle can answer that question for us. Finally, I'm going to make a point and liken her to Humpty Dumpty. There's a little cartoon that I recently saw. It's an old one. I always love the oldies. I think it's called Humpty Dumpty's Gold. I think it's by one of the Fleischers, Max Fleischer, Dave Fleischer. They're big cartoonists back in the 1930s. Anyhow, Humpty Dumpty is a really rich egg. And he has a whole room piled high with gold. Piled high. He's in there looking at his gold, and then the beams of the sun come through the window and light on him. And he's like, gold! Sunbeams, gold! He wants to build a tower up to the sun so he can get the gold in the sun. So he builds and builds and builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. And he finally climbs to the top, tippy top up to the sun, and grabs a chunk off the sun. But then the fire comes out of the sun and blasts him and knocks him off his wall. And down. He falls to his inevitable end. Humpty Dumpty. And he got there because he was just too greedy. Like I said, Meghan is the woman who wanted more than everything. So we'll keep an eye on this and see how it pans out. But kind of don't see how it's going to turn out well. Alright, so check out her IMDb page and see what you think. It's definitely well stocked and well written, and lots of stuff on there. Wedding guests and the people who played special music at her wedding. I was going to say, why she forgot her neighbors. Why don't she list her neighbors who she grew up with and who lived next door to her in all the various apartments that she lived in? Because, hey, I didn't see the neighbors on the list. Okay, guys. Take care, stay safe, let freedom ring.